I headed across the country just on an adventure and ended up in southeast Alaska and went to work on a sea cucumber harvesting boat.
I formerly commercial fished in Kodiak, Alaska for salmon and set netting.
I've been fishing up in Alaska, the Bering Sea on an H&G processor, and for the last 10 years.
I have been fishing in Bristol Bay for 32 years.
I've been fishing in Alaska for the past 6 years.
I've spent the last 9 summers working in Bristol Bay, Alaska. I'm in fleet support, which is basically moving the boats around.
I return home to Vermont every year with a portion of what I catch, where I sell it at farmers markets.
A lot of the monies that are made by me in Bristol Bay and my crew that also lives here in Vermont comes back to the state.
Quite a few guys that go up there and make a living from Maine. A lot of guys that used to fish in the Northeast fish up there. Fisheries here was pretty much cut back, so much you couldn't make a living.
Bristol Bay provides the world with 46% of its wild sockeye salmon.
The fishery up there supports much more than just the fishermen. There's a lot of cannery workers and a lot of businesses like weld shops and supply stores that rely on this fishery, and basically just a single species of salmon, the sockeye salmon.
I've had the opportunity to meet and work next to a lot of native people who rely on the resource for subsistence, as well as families who have been there for generations fishing, who rely on the resource to put their kids through school as well as income. I've also worked with people who return there year after year from around the country and the world to take part in the harvest.
This waste would have to be stored behind massive earthen dams, not just for the length of the mining operation, but pretty much forever.
And this seemed like a large threat hanging over the head of one of the most intact and productive fisheries in the world.
The Pebble Mine really couldn't be in a worse spot, right at the headwaters of 2 of the major river systems in Bristol Bay.
A lot more science and research needs to be put into the impact that can happen on the natural resources in that area and the current users that already are utilizing that resource.
I don't think they should be digging up there and risking, polluting the streams and rivers up there.
Pebble Mine is one that we do not want.
The Bristol Bay salmon fishery is just amazingly productive. So, serious threat to something that mankind hasn't had a chance to mess up yet.
In Alaska, we have the world's most sustainable wild salmon fishery. Bristol Bay is an integral part of that, and I implore you to do what you can to help protect that resource.